Hi, this is Dave. I've recently been having a lot of conversations with a friend about retirement. Like so many of us, he's worried that he won't have enough money. I went through this 2 years ago when I started contemplating retirement, and so I feel good about being able to help him through it now. When you start thinking about retirement, you start modeling your financial situation. And he's modeled his financial situation with many different tools. When I went through it, I made a very simple tool in Excel, and so now I sent him my tool with his numbers in it, and it showed that he should be okay. He's also gone online and found a bunch of different tools, and he's modeled his situation using those tools, and they showed him that he should be okay. He's also talked to financial advisors, and the financial advisors have told him he should be okay. But he's still hesitant, and I understand that, because you work your whole life trying to build up enough so that you can survive retirement, and you're never really confident that you have enough. And it's a very difficult transition to make, to say, okay, now I built up enough, now I can stop and start living off what I built up. And many people go through this. It's a big traumatic thing, and you just have to work your way through it. But my friend keeps on wanting to look at more tools, look at it from this perspective, look at it from that perspective, talk to more people. And I've told him finally, all the tools are giving you numbers that are wrong. All the financial advisors are giving you numbers that are wrong. I'm an engineer. I made computer models for about 9 years to model whether or not parts would go together. There were several different softwares that I used to do this. One was a pretty crude software. It made big assumptions. I had very little control over those assumptions. And it gave me results, and I knew they would always be wrong. But depending on the situation, most of the time they were close enough. And we made lots of decisions based on crude tools with big assumptions that we couldn't control. Now, in other situations, we used a different software. It was more expensive software. It took a lot longer to build the models, but we were able to have much more control over the assumptions going in. And it did a very sophisticated Monte Carlo statistical analysis and gave us results that were statistically sound. But still, we always knew that the numbers would always be wrong. But close enough. And probably closer than the numbers that we got from our crude tool. That's the way it is with making models. You always know the result is going to be wrong, but you hope it's going to be close enough. Models are always based on assumptions. Assumptions are guesses. You never know whether or not you've guessed right. A lot of assumptions are based on the assumption that things in the future will follow the trends that they have in the past. How do we know that they will? Maybe they will, maybe they won't. How do we know that we've accounted for all the assumptions we could possibly make? If you'd make a model modeling your financial situation in 2019, you probably would not account for COVID. Why would you? How would you have any idea? It's the same thing with all models you make. They're all based on assumptions, they're all based on guesses, and you always know that the numbers that come out are going to be wrong, but the more you do it, the more models you look at, you become more and more confident that even though you know they're wrong, they're close enough. And you get to know that, well, this is probably a little closer than that was. But ultimately, you can never have total certainty. You know that everything you do is based on assumptions, and ultimately the numbers are going to be wrong, and you just hope they're going to be close enough. This is where we come to the difference between a mathematician and an engineer. A mathematician only solves problems that he knows have a solution. And a mathematician will always get exact answers. An engineer has to solve a lot of problems where he doesn't know for sure if there's a solution. And most of the time he's not going to get exact answers. And he has to live with good enough. He has to make decisions based on good enough. And for 9 years, The company I was working for made decisions, multi-million-dollar decisions, multi-tens of millions of dollars decisions based on my models, where the numbers turned out to always be wrong. We knew they'd always be wrong, but they were close enough that we made good decisions and things worked out well. And that's what you have to do anytime you do modeling. So ultimately, look at as many models as you need to, talk to as many people as you need to get a feeling down in your gut that you're comfortable, that you think you're going to be okay, and then stop obsessing about it. And this is what I told my friend. Stop obsessing about it, set up a well-balanced portfolio, and then ignore it. And go outside and take pictures of squirrels. And that's the best you can do. That's today's video. Please watch for more.